Welcome, I'm Darren, and I'll be your professor today as we look at Upper Decks UD3 football sets. This was a set that Upper Deck created that lasted for 2 years. UD3 was developed basically as a basketball set, built on a very simple 3-part set. Basically, it was a set with 3 distinct themes, all equally proportioned across the set, 60 cards, 20 cards in each theme. And each theme had a very distinct quality to it, a very distinct card look and feel. And they all had a different portion of the cards that were distributed throughout the set, basically rookies, veterans, and superstars. The distinctive nature of the themes, looking so different from one to another, makes the set a little bit difficult to look at as one complete whole, because it looks like a haphazard collection of basically inserts, which is kind of almost the model that they were going by. But it does create a very interesting set once you get past the fact that there doesn't appear to be any cohesion across. And in basketball, for the 2 years that they ran these cards, that's exactly the way that they did it. In football, fortunately, they did veer away for their second year, but the whole idea of the UD3 cards is a 3-part set, and each part is a distinctive portion of the whole. So for football, it followed the same model as the basketball, although they changed it both stylistically and in terms of how many insert sets they had along with the cards. And the set, I wouldn't say looks more cohesive and uniform. It looks just as haphazard as with basketball, but there is a different feel to the set where it does feel almost like there's a different planning quality that goes into it. But football has always been very different from basketball in terms of how sets are built due to the number of stars that are on a team, the number of starters. With a basketball team, you only have 5. With a football team, you have 25 different starters. So football automatically always has more players that it has to get into the set. And basketball is almost pressed in a way to find more superstars to fill out sets the size of what football and baseball normally create. So with the football set, you get more of the feeling of how many players are not in the set than are in the set, and thus you can better see the distribution across the entire 60 cards of the whole set itself. The first part of the football set is the prime choice rookies, and these cards are basically holdovers from the 93 and 94 SP sets, where they used a metallic finish quality to the cards, and they created truly exquisite cards here in this particular use. While the 93 SP rookies have always stood out as unusually beautiful cards, what they did here in 97's UD3 for their rookies just elevates it to a much higher level and creates in what, in my opinion, is the most beautiful rookie card ever made. There's an elegance to it from both the brushed metal design approach as well as the detailing that they put into these cards. They really are standout. And I think that people tend to overlook this set simply because 1997 it is usually considered to be one of the low-tier rookie years, even though it has a surprisingly large number of not just quality rookies, but flat-out Hall of Famers. This is a set that includes, among other players, Tony Gonzalez's rookie card. So these rookie cards, while not holding the star power that other years tend to have, still are great rookie cards, but the rookie card design is just magnificent. The second theme is the Eye of a Champion subset, and these are the star cards in this set. The particular approach that Upper Deck chose for these cards is almost a hearkening to Topps finest. They have see-through cards, partially see-through cards, and they actually have a protective seal over the top, and you can peel that protective coat off and reveal a very nice card underneath. But as always, it is preferred by many of us in the higher end of the collecting sphere that you leave those peels on. The card design itself isn't really that distinctive. It's an okay card design, but it's more of a good idea rather than a great creation. Only a part of the card is actually see-through, and the rest of the card is really a faint shade of what had already come in the rookie set. The third theme is the Pigskin Heroes, and these are veteran players like the second theme, but they're not the same level of stars as the Eye of a Champion cards. But these cards get back to really high-end design. These do not have actual leather on them. They have a leather pattern that is embossed and is very glossy. But the cards, again, are very elegant, really, really nice. And they're the kinds of cards that you would expect for the stars to be placed on, but in this particular set, they didn't go with that. Now, the set also has 3 insert sets, or 2.5 insert sets. And interestingly enough, these 3 sets mirror the 3 themes in the main set. The first insert set is the Generation Excitement set. And this is likewise a brush metal style card with a solid red to white theming in the background. And it's a bunch of young players, and these cards are horizontal with a really neat die cut quality to it. It's kind of an elongated X pattern. The cards are very elegant, and they look great in any collection. But I have noticed over the years that there is a tendency for some of these cards to get crimped. Basically, apparently during the packaging process, the cards don't appear to sit as consistently with the rest of the cards, and they'll get crimped when the package is being sealed up. So I don't think that creates any special rarity to them, but it's just something to kind of keep in mind. Now, the second insert set is the Matinee Attractions set, and this is another set of veteran star players, and it follows the same basic card style as in the actual set, except in this case, they go with a different pattern, it's die cut, and everything is black and white except for a window where you can actually see a color image through it and a color image of the player on the front. The cards are not exciting. There's nothing really great about these. Again, this is a card set that has really high-end standout designs, and then this interesting idea that just never really materialized into anything substantial. It doesn't really hold up with the rest. But these cards, I've noticed over the years, have a strong tendency to have been peeled, and I've found it a lot easier to find the peeled cards rather than the unpeeled cards. So in this case, please don't peel these cards. There are plenty of peeled cards out there for you to get if that's what you want. These cards are more rare, and so the unpeeled cards, it's a little bit harder to maintain as many as are in the past. And I really have been surprised at how frequently the peeled cards show up versus unpeeled. The third insert set is really half of an insert set. It's 4 autograph cards. In this case, I happen to have the Marcus Allen exchange card, and the regular autograph card looks just like that, except quite a bit different. And these cards basically take the horizontal format Pigskin Heroes set and turns it vertically and adds some extra gold in it. But the 3 styles of the insert sets, it is a very unusual thing to see that mimic the actual set. It's a really cool thing that they did. And I like it a lot, even though they don't actually tie across one to the other necessarily. Now, the set wasn't really designed to be a long-term set. It wasn't built in the same fashion as sets like, say, SP, which were supposed to be a formal set. It was supposed to operate in a particular set, operate in a particular way. You have lots of cards distributed out. This was kind of a gimmick card design, which is something that happened a lot during this decade, and still happens to an extent in the years later on. But a good gimmick inspires a follow-up. And while in basketball, the follow-up was very similar to the original, in football, they went in a very, very different direction. So in 98, they used the exact same model of using 3 groups of themes. But instead of 20, 20, and 20, they used 30, 30, and 30. So it's actually a 90-card set instead of a 60-card set. But also, unlike 97, they decided to expand beyond that. So they created 3 different tiers. And they refer to these as technologies. So they have their bronze, metal, color with just a standard technology, which is just a regular glossy picture. And then they have their silver cards, and their silver cards have kind of a silver chrome-like quality to them. And the third one is gold coloring, and it has a rainbow prismatic finish to it. And these are the 3 different tiers, but then the themes themselves are distinctive in terms of the overall card design, like in the previous sets, and they do stand out as very, very distinct one to the other. But in this case, they actually look like they're somewhat part of the exact same set, which is a very helpful thing that they did for this particular set, for the football 1998 set. The 3 different themes are Future Shock, Next Realm, and Upper Realm. Future Shock is the rookies, Next Realm is the veterans, and Upper Realm is the stars. And together they create basically a 9-part structure, a big matrix of 9 different sub-themes and categories, if you will. And the entire 270 card set, they have numbers all the way through. So even though it's 90 cards and 90 cards and 90 cards, the numbering system actually does go all the way to 270. And there is a die-cut version of this entire set that follows the exact same numbering and the same patterns, etc. And for the 3 different tiers, they have their most common, they have their more rare, and they have their super rare levels. So with the die cuts, all of the bronze cards are individually numbered out of 2,000. All of the silver are numbered out of 1,000, and all of the gold cards are numbered out of 100. So the rarity is based entirely upon the particular metal of the foil. There's no rarity for these in terms of what theme it is, so they're all equally rare. But in the main set, they go in a very different pattern. They have 9 different categories in terms of those combinations, and it is a scattershot array of rarity. So as you're putting together the whole 270 card set, you're going to run into the problem of different parts of the set are going to come together more quickly, and others are going to come together at a much more patient rate. And it's going to make the set look kind of weird. And it can be difficult to remember as you're trying to find these cards, which tier is the place where you have the most holes in your set. So here's the order of easiest cards to hardest cards. This is the easiest, the next easiest, the next one, the next one. This is the middle of the whole group. And then we have the next hardest, the next hardest, the almost most hardestest, and the very most hardestest of them all. But the big challenge with this set is the numbering. On the back of the cards, there are 3 sets of numbers. In 1996, Topps Finest was created with a whole bunch of different themes spread out throughout the set. They were haphazardly arrayed, and Topps included a special numbering system for each of the themes, so that if you wanted to put the set together in one cohesive manner, you actually had not a checklist, but a series of numbers that you could use to follow to put that together. And for 96 and 97, that was very helpful. For this set, they didn't really need to do that, but they went ahead and did so anyway and put these different numbers on the back, which, I don't know, I guess made it seem more important. So the 3 numbers are, first, numbers based upon the particular technology, which is basically the different foil treatments. So all the numbers within the bronze, and then they're repeated with the silver, and they're repeated with the gold. So you have 90 card numbers where you start off with the rookies and you end up through the stars. The second number is the set, the overall set, 270 cards, and the third one is within the theme itself. So that means that when you go from 1 to 30, then you start over again with the silver cards, and then you go to the bronze, and it's a continuation from 61 on. So in the case of Brian Greasy, he's card number 28 with the bronze. So when you look at the silver card number, the number there is 58, and then likewise it's 88 for the gold. So the first number is basically just a 90 card set, totally regardless of the foil color. The second one is the whole set. This is the number. If you're going to put together a checklist, if you're going to sell the card, this is the number that applies to each card. And then the third one is basically just pretending that only the first third, the second third, or the third third of the set is what you're looking at, going from bronze, silver to gold. They didn't get into inserts in this. Basically, in 1998, Upper Deck just did a series of authenticated autographs that show up everywhere, and that's pretty much the only insert that comes into the set. But it's already a 540 card set if you do the entire thing, both the main set and the die cuts. So it's a lot to do, and it's a really great set. It has a pretty strong theme. The cards really do look nice, and it is a fascinating undertaking to try to collect this set. So neither of these sets really require a whole lot of discussion, even though I've gone on for quite a length of time talking about them, because there are a lot of little things that go on, but overall the sets are pretty simple and pretty basic. But they're a lot of fun. The 97 set is a beautiful set to collect, and the 98 set is a headache if you delve into the depths of really trying to get this thing done. But they're well worth it. They have great rookie cards in both of them, and at least the 98 set is quite popular. So let me know what you think of these cards. The nature of the sets. Do you think that I'm overselling or underselling 97? Let me know in the comments below. I hope that you like this video and that you'll hit the like button, and I hope that you'll subscribe, and I hope that you'll look for other videos that I've done on this channel. And thank you for watching.